Welcome back to my channel. I have been talking about concepts like God, the soul, death, and karma and life purpose. And today, my guest is Sanjot. Sanjot and me met at a workshop called NBC. And let's start with the introduction.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Rishi. I have been a leadership and organizational development consultant, but I forayed into somatic work, working with the body as well as working with stories, particularly mythological and Upanishadic stories. I do a lot of storytelling work, wellness work, along with my leadership development. I think one very significant turning point was that I had this dream. I don't know whether it was a dream or a vision or what. It was a feeling of the goddess arising. That is what really made me take this up, the reading of various texts, thinking about it, interacting about it, and so on. So, yeah, that's basically me right now.
What is your understanding of what is God or creator?
Before anything was there, there was consciousness. You can call it Atma, you can call it source, you can call it creator, and then there was this Prakriti, which is matter. So there was matter and there was consciousness. And because the consciousness wanted to know itself, it decided to engage with matter. And so you, I, everybody else are pieces of matter that the consciousness is using to see itself and to see the world. And therefore, that is the consciousness or Atman or Brahman. It's the same thing as a source, as the same that exists in all of us. From that source, of course, there are gods and goddesses who are at a different level of evolution, and we are at a different level. But there is no hierarchy. It's not like you are less evolved or more evolved.
So Atman is different and Atma is different.
Atma is different.
Atma is soul, right?
Yes.
So the concept of us being eternal, what would be the purpose of the soul?
Something like a probe.
Okay.
So we have been sent, right? Now, this consciousness wants to experience matter in its full form, full glory. And it also wants to see itself. How will it do that? It will need a body. Now, the whole of consciousness in one body, you will not be able to see everything. So then you need that many probes, right? Who will see it in different bodies and their experiences will be different. So when I say my journey, I'm talking about my soul's journey. But the Atma's journey is multiple souls, including the gods and goddesses, the Shiva or the Ganesha. They were at a different realm, we at a different.
What is karma? And how is karma tied to the soul and then every life after that? A lot of my problems are solved because of my understanding of karma. So
Yes.
for
Yes.
me, the whole reincarnation and the soul continuing and this karmic baggage to complete resonates more with someone like me.
Yes.
I'd love to know your understanding of how this all intertwines.
Yeah. For me, Sanjog Pete, born in 68 till whichever year I'm going to be around, is the only one life. The journey of consciousness was to experience life. In fact, the purpose of life essentially is to experience life. That is what consciousness wants. What are the various things that can happen in matter? I have come to experience life. That's all. I have experiences. But what happens in the process is that I get entangled. I say, I don't like this. I like this. I don't like this person. I don't like this behavior. I don't like this food. I don't like this kind of life, etc. Or I say, oh, I love this. I can't let it go. I have to hold on to this. This is the best thing that I need to have. I need to earn so much money and I need to do this kind of work. So when I get entangled into it, that is when it no longer remains an experience. It becomes a label. So am I successful or am I unsuccessful is getting defined at some level. We are all successful. We have survived and we have grown and we have lived a life. So we are all successful. But we never stop at that. We start comparing. We start saying, hey, I'm not that successful. Or hey, I am very successful. You are a pretty kind of. So when you get caught up in that is what is karma. So those are the things which you need to explore more. So if I become jealous, I need to explore jealousy more. I need to look at all facets of jealousy. And maybe at some point, I also need to look at what does it feel like not to be jealous. So for that, I would have to come again and again till such time when, say, somebody like a Ramana Maharishi, for example, probably he had cancer, but he didn't even call that bad. Or he didn't even say this is bad. Why is it happening to me? No, it's happening. It's body. It's happening. It's my karma. So when you come to that stage, probably this might end or you might start something else. You might be a different being and you may start influencing in a different manner. So for me, all this is very closely related. The Atma's journey and then my journey. How do I disentangle from all this? It's not about leaving life and going away, the Himalayas, because then I'm not experiencing life. The whole idea was to experience everything. Unless I experience everything, I have to come back. Going to Himalayas is not going to solve my problems. I have to live here. Can I care without worrying?
I like that.
Or can I experience it without labeling, without saying this is good, this is not good? Can I experience that? How well do I accept what responsibility I take and what responsibility I don't take? How honest I am at this level? And then how much compassion can I have? Once I begin accepting myself fully, it becomes easier for me to accept everything else.
The whole idea is not to go to the Himalayas and to be the experience. So right now, there's a boss that keeps complaining about how useless I am. There's a spouse that I'm having challenges with. Oh, my child is not studying in school. Each one will have challenges, or as you call it, experiences. What would you say is the action that needs to be remembered for which you have come here for those experiences, which will not get, as you call, entangled? What is the so-called action that we need to do to not get trapped in entanglement?
I don't know. I don't have a very clear answer to that. But for me, that action is, can I be with as many experience without labeling as much as possible?
Labeling is a mental thing. So-and-so is an asshole, or so-and-so is so rude. Is that the action? The awareness, becoming more and more aware of, oh, look at me. I just noticed this about me. Oh, look at me. I just noticed I said that.
Yeah, becoming more and more aware or becoming more and more aware of your breath.
Breath.
The more aware of, if you're aware of your breath you are, you won't label anything.
I didn't understand that.
Say, for example, I met with an accident. Okay.
Okay.
And I got hurt and I was taken to the hospital quickly. And
Right.
an experience, right? Now, through the experience, I am paying attention to the pain and screaming and crying. I might be even cursing because of whom the accident happened.
Correct.
Or I may be blaming myself for being so stupid to walk in this way.
Yes.
In all these situations, my attention is how this bad thing happened.
Right.
My attention is not in the fact that I'm living, that I'm breathing.
That's where you be breath.
I'm going through the earlier I can bring my consciousness to that, saying I'm breathing and I'm walking through this,
Yeah.
the less the pain will be pain. My nerves are hurt, they are going to hurt till the time they need to hurt. That can't go away. Or if a bone is broken and it has to be plastered, it has to be plastered. But when the more I breathe in, the more I'm with my breath, the less things will impact me. But I'll be able to go through it. I'll be able to walk through it. And I will not get entangled. It will become a memory of a past. I will still have the memory. I will not forget it. But it will just be a memory. That's all. It will not be something that I got entangled in.
In your line of work, do you teach people about breath and stuff like that?
Yes, I do.
And is it like a muscle they need to develop about becoming aware of the breath?
Yes.
And can you share maybe one or two?
One is a very simple practice of just paying attention to your breath coming in and your breath going out. Okay, how does it come in? How does it go out? What is the quality? What is the temperature? What is the length of the inhale and exhale? Just paying attention to what it is on a daily basis. But I also think that it is not easy for everybody to do that. Therefore, you also can do paying attention to your body.
Okay.
Just touching your body in different places and just feeling how it feels really slowly and just holding and saying, okay, how does it feel? Or paying attention to things which I like. I like trees. I like to look at the sky. I like to look at my books. So just paying attention to that and breathing and seeing how my body feels will slowly build that muscle. It will build a muscle of shifting, not as in avoiding, but shifting that saying, hey, I'm breathing and I'll walk through it. So I will still look at the accident and still do whatever needs to be done. I will still call up people who need to be called. I'll still go through the whole treatment, everything. It will be more like I'm living life. And yeah, this is part of life. This is going to happen. So It's very easy to say it.
Yeah, that is the mehnat of one's lifetime is to
Yes.
build the ability to become more aware of this and watch it and feel it and be with it and things like
Yeah.
that without the labels.
Yes.
Lovely, lovely. Very nice. And this is the first time that when I talk to people, I think from awareness, breath, and even touching is interesting. You just touch or you see something you like a tree or something. If I ever get hospitalized, get some stand-up comedy with the headphones so that I don't disturb it.
Oh,
Yeah. But just get into the mood of laughter to feel, oh my God, life can be so much fun while I'm in the hospital.
yeah.
So although you didn't use the word karma, I like the word you used was entanglement. So if you don't settle your balance of karmic dues,
Mm.
you're coming back to settle it. Right? Initially, I used to feel like it was like some struggle. Now I'm looking at it. There's no shortage of time. You can live a million lives. So-called settle the karmic debts that you're creating and that you
Wow.
need to clear. And so now I'm a little bit more easy about settling the karmic debts. I just know it's a job that needs to be done at some point of time. And
Yeah.
be watchful on not creating more karmic debts.
My personal belief is that if you live your life with less and less entanglements, the debts automatically dissolve because you have grown through it. So
Right.
there's no debt. When I was talking about taking responsibility, I have had experiences where somebody has done a lot of bad to me. And I've felt angry about it and I've hated it and I've felt pity about it that I couldn't do anything and all that. But
Right.
over a period of time, I have taken responsibility for my pity, my anger. This is not absolving the other person. This is not saying, oh, you didn't do anything, it was all me. Your responsibility ended. Beyond that is my responsibility, and I'm going to take charge of my emotions and I'm going to release them from myself.
Right.
What happens to you is your karma. That itself is clearing out the debt.
Let's talk about life purpose. Is there like a one-line statement you have? This is the life purpose for not just me, but for every human being, or it's different for everybody?
I think the way life purpose plays out can be different for everybody because it will depend upon their karmic blueprint and their own will. And but broadly, overall, it's the same thing. In fact, I heard Winnie's podcast where she mentions that life purpose is in being in service of evolution. Ultimately, what is evolution? Evolution is knowing more. That is what the Atman is trying to do. Our life purpose is to go through experience and know more and more. The more we know about ourselves, the more we are not entangled, the more we are living a good life and going and maybe coming back. I think for all living beings, this is one purpose. How do I live a life and not get entangled?
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. So I'd like to dive into your work and how all what we've spoken about connects with your work.
I'm bringing something to people as a method of reflection. What they reflect and what they take away from it is theirs. Can I create spaces of reflection? I have found stories, particularly mythological stories, stories from Upanishads, where as you're living and as you're experiencing and as you're getting entangled, there will be dominant stories which will be there in your life for everybody. And there are stories which are hidden, which get hidden under the dominant stories, which you can drive out. So using different stories, I help people to untangle their own hidden stories, help them break the dominant story so that they can look at their life as a good, beautiful symphony of kinds, a good story rather than the labeled story, if I may say so. So that's the work I do. I do that by using body and movements. I do that work in workshops. I did something called as narratives of dignity, where I help people uncover what dignity is for them, how do they lose it, how do they not take care of other people's dignity. So that is the work that I do, helping people to discover their stories, transform their stories, find meaning in their stories.
Wonderful. And these are done through workshops or one-to-one. How do you actually help people in
I do it through workshops as well as what.
both? So if people who are listening to this video, what's the best way for them to connect with you for either workshop or a one-to-one session?
I think my mail ID is sanjotp@gmail.com.
Which I will then just put it in the description of this
Yes,
video. Sanjot, this is just the start of many conversations that I want to do with all of you guys again. I would want to come back and do a round two with you.
absolutely. Thank you so much.